Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Master Detective Archives Raincode. Last time, we just did DLCs for Kazuhiko and Fubuki last month. And now, today, or yesterday, the DLC for Halara is finally out. And yeah, I'm excited to do this because, it's my only chance to do this. So anyway, Nocturnal Detective Agency receives a request to investigate an unusual drowning. Was it suicide? Murder? Will Master Detective Halara be able to solve this odd and onerous case? Cats and dogs, baby. Let's freaking do this. Alright, let's do this. Very curious how it, pairs up against all the other, cases. Because Fubuki's was fine. It was hilarious. Stupidly hilarious, honestly. Kazuhiko felt... It was okay, but it felt very cringe. Let's see how Halara stands up.
Halara, do you know where the milk I put in the fridge went? I was saving it for my coffee.
Beats me.
That's my seat, you know.
How much?
Huh?
How much do you want for
She's
it?
gonna pray.
I'll pay your asking price.
She's gonna pay for wanting to sit.
Well?
You gotta be kidding. Fine. Just keep sitting there.
I will.
Huh? Someone's coming. I wasn't expecting guests today.
Huh? Who is this?
Right this way. It's a bit cramped in here.
Oh boy. What is this?
Are you the chief of the Nocturnal Detective Agency?
Wait a second.
My name is Tetra. Pleased to meet you.
Petra? Wait, is that Jen Losey's voice? Hey yo, shout out to her. Look, let's see what she does for
I'm
her
the
performance.
chief. That's just one of our detectives.
Oh, excuse me. Your detective was sitting at the biggest desk here, so I assumed that...
Oof.
My seat
The
gets stolen
seat.
the moment I leave it open.
The seat decides it all.
Let's sit down.
I was told you investigate murders.
A murder case.
Murder case.
It's possible for us to handle it, but what we can or can't do depends on whether or not the peacekeepers have already gone through it.
I see. My father passed away in a rather bizarre manner. The peacekeepers declared it was an accidental death.
Of course, that's what the damn peacekeepers does. They
I
lie.
just can't believe it was an accident.
The peacekeepers usually try
It's
to
no
declare
accident,
any
obviously.
unnatural deaths as accidents. Why do you suspect that it wasn't one?
My father kept tropical fish as a hobby. One morning, he was found dead, drowned with his head stuck in the fish tank. Do you really think that could be an accident?
He drowned with his head stuck in a fish tank?
The fuck?
Can you describe the situation?
The fish tank is set rather low, so you can view it from above.
In a fish tank.
My father was in a kneeling position, with his head dunked into the water.
That sure is bizarre. What did the peacekeepers have to say?
They say he was electrocuted, and passed out when he touched the temperature control switch with wet hands.
Okay, that's pretty obvious it's a lie. Okay, we need to, know the crime scene.
And he fell into the water and drowned, unfortunately.
Are you sure the cause of death was drowning?
There has to be more to this.
Yes, that appears to be the case without a doubt. A trustworthy doctor did the autopsy.
I see. From what you've said, you can't really deny that it could have been an accident.
No, the problem is the room where my father passed away. It was obvious that someone else had rummaged around.
What do you mean?
Well, the
Who
room
were
has
the other
lots
witnesses?
of tropical fish tanks lined up. But on the day my father died, all of them were shattered to pieces. And of course there was water and dead fish all over the floor. Someone must have forced their way into the room to do something so terrible.
Murder.
I believe my father was murdered by whoever did that.
Alright, we gotta know the full crime
This
scene.
must be a murder. Please uncover the truth of my father's death.
What do you think, Halara?
She needs to be paid
Beats
for it,
me.
no?
I wasn't paying attention.
Don't lie. There's no way you couldn't hear us.
You can assume I don't exist, unless pay is involved.
I can pay. My father left
Wait,
me
what?
an inheritance.
How much money?
Oh, don't mind my detective. Our rates are always reasonable here.
Then you'll investigate this case on my behalf?
Huh? Yes, of course. As detectives sworn to protect this town, we can't leave any mysteries unsolved.
Thank you. I'm so happy I worked up the courage to come here.
Yay. I'm
Nocturnal
surprised she doesn't have a
Detective Agency
portrait.
is here to protect the peace of Conai Ward.
I'm surprised
You can always
guys
count
about
on
that.
us. As for investigating
We
this
need
case,
more portrait
we'll check out the crime
characters.
scene soon. Promise.
I guess then they have to be a unique character, I guess. Just like in Desahiko's.
Jeez.
That was rather reckless of you to promise.
It's not like I have a choice. I can't just abandon people in need.
It sounds like a someone
Yaku
Yuma.
Furio, Chief of the Nocturnal Detective Agency. I gotta protect this town.
Do you even have a single lead to solve this case?
Just go to the crime scene, no?
Of course. I'm a detective after all. If I proceed with the investigation, I'm sure I can find some kind of clue.
He's not gonna find anything, is he?
But I'll need your help, Halara.
That depends on the payment.
Oh my god. Dang it.
You know I don't have a lot of money.
And you know that I don't work for cheap.
Ooh.
Then, how about a deal instead?
What deal?
If you solve this case, I'll let you keep a cat here.
Win, 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 win! Oh. Win, win. This is a deal. Deal.
Yes, really.
I accept
Hey,
the case.
Where are you going?
To the crime scene.
That is motivation
Client
for
just
cats.
left.
For the power of cats.
Why don't you wait until tomorrow?
Fine. I shall review the case's records until then.
Halara's fee is cheaper than I thought.
It's the power of cats involved because she loves cats. You notice from her gumshoe gabs that she loves cats, but she can't touch them. Raining cats and dogs. I'm very curious how this is gonna turn up. I hope it's like a bit of funny. Then again, it's gonna be pretty much serious because it's Halara, so. The cats will be involved as a reward. Let's do this.
Thank you for coming. You really are willing to investigate the case.
Well, that's our duty at the Nocturnal Detective Agency. Your house is pretty big. Your father must have been well off.
Yes. My father owned a medical devices company. He contributed to Conai Ward's medical advancements for years. I simply can't believe he met his end like this.
We'll find justice for him.
Thank you. I am in your debt. This is my fiancé, Jaren. We've been living together
Jaren.
for about a year now.
Nice to meet you.
He's the killer.
I'd like to ask
I
you
hope
more
not.
about the details later, but can we
But
take
then
a look at
again-
the scene for now? Oh, before that, do you have a photo of your father?
Of course. Here's a picture from when he was still alive.
Thank you. Halara, over here. I'll leave the investigation to you. It's a bit too cramped for all of us to be wandering about. I'll keep speaking to them outside. Talk to me when you're done.
Understood.
Alright, are we gonna go through past crime
No.
scene?
Time to review the cards I've been dealt.
Investigation time. Let's do it.
You definitely want to remember this.
Alright, what do we have here? The broken fish tank. Let's start with that. It's like 2 fish
All of
tanks.
the fish tanks have been shattered.
All of them, though.
There's broken glass scattered on the inside, which means it's certain someone smashed it inward.
Which one was the crime
Why
scene?
would someone do this?
Like, which one was used? Could they just have, like, swapped the fish tanks or something like that? I don't know. We'll see.
I see.
Been for food for tropical fish are placed together. Seems like nothing has been used since the incident. There's some dust. This hasn't been touched. The floor.
Right.
There's some stains on the floor. It's likely due to the water spilled from the fish tanks. Other than that, nothing else seems suspicious. The floor has stains from the fish tanks. Is it a locked room? It's a weird, stain-looking door.
There is a sticky substance stuck to the door frame. Perhaps tape residue?
Is for the lock room mystery? Like glue? Alright. What do we got here? Wall stains.
What is this? There is a stain here that looks like a horizontal line.
Wait a second. Were you saying that the fish tanks are originally here or something? Or I don't know.
Upon close inspection, there appears to be a faint outline of the same stain along all 4 walls.
Huh. Was something being dragged around the outside walls? Vent.
An ordinary vent. There's some blue paint on the inner side of the frame.
That's a clue.
Looks like something rubbed against it. This may have something to do with the case.
Okay, we got the vent. What about the window?
It's a regular sliding window with a crescent lock. There are no suspicious marks on it. There's a small veranda outside. We're on the 2nd floor, so any rain that falls off the eaves flows to the drain.
A normal window with a crescent lock. There are no suspicious marks. 2nd floor veranda. Rain flows off the eaves into the drain. I think that's it, right? Let's see what we have.
That's about all I can investigate for now. I should go talk to our clients before I observe the crime scene at the time the body was discovered. The crime scene has been inspected, Chief.
Thanks.
Feel like we need to use Halara's power, no?
There are a few things I'd like to confirm.
Yes, please ask me anything.
Can you give me the details of when you discovered the body?
It was, I think, around 6 in the morning. My father usually woke up early for breakfast, but when I went to get him, he wasn't in his room. So I looked around and noticed Sugar barking at this room.
Sugar?
That's the name of our dog.
Ooh, doggy.
Hey!
Oh no, are we gonna say the dog is the killer? Don't say the dog's the killer.
Sugar sure is happy. She's rarely friendly with anyone.
I swear to God, game, don't do this to
She
me.
barks at me all the time.
There.
Shall we continue?
Oh, sorry. Sugar was barking in front of the room, so I opened the door to take a look. There I saw my father. His head was in the fish tank. He was already gone.
I heard her scream and ran over, but what I saw took my breath away. The fish tanks were all destroyed. The floor was covered with water. All the tropical fish Father loved were scattered across the floor, dead. Were
No,
they valuable?
Pepe hens, the fish died.
I'm not sure. I don't know how much they were worth, but the fact is, my father cared for them a great deal.
If the fish were expensive, do you think someone tried to steal them?
Are you implying my father's murder was an afterthought?
Well, I'm just considering possibilities. If they were going to steal the fish, I doubt they'd smash the tanks. You're right.
Do you know the estimated time of death for the victim?
I believe it was around 10 o'clock the night before.
10 o'clock to
When was
6
the last
a.m.
time you saw him alive?
Right around 7 that night. I ate dinner with him. He went to his room after that.
Time of death is
Does
around
anyone
10
else live
p.m.
here?
It's just me and him now. The servant left after making
Servant?
dinner before 7.
Could
Tell
be
me,
the servant.
What were you doing around 10 that night?
Could be you.
After finishing dinner with my father, I did some cleaning and washed the dishes. Jaren came to the dining hall around 8 for dinner.
This whole house
And
is
then we watched
sus.
TV
It
in the
could be
living room
one of them
until
for
around
sure.
midnight.
Yes. I know for certain we were together between 8 and midnight.
Dog.
Did you ever get up during that time? Such as to go to the bathroom?
I don't think so.
Were there any screams or sounds of a struggle around 10 at night? No, not at all. I see. That leaves me wondering who entered that room, when they did, and why they smashed all the fish tanks. The fish tanks are large and have thick glass. You'd think you'd hear them being smashed.
True. All I know for certain is that we didn't hear anything like that.
8 p.m. around midnight, Jaren was with Tetra.
Do you often come in and out of this room?
Not at all. Only my father used this room.
What did the peacekeepers have to say when they saw the state of things in the room?
Suicide.
They said my father was stressed out. That he lost control and smashed all the tanks himself.
Frickin' peacekeepers, god
Was
dang
he
it.
actually stressed out?
Truth be told, my father was lamenting over a prized tropical fish he had accidentally killed that morning. I thought he could have done something extreme, given how much he regretted his mistake.
He did look rather depressed.
Still, my mild-mannered father would never do something like this.
Did you notice anything strange about your father during dinner?
Oops, don't mind me.
He was sad about the fish, but he ate normally. I didn't notice anything in particular.
It's hard to think he
Sasuke.
was so distraught that he'd smash all the tanks on his own.
You're right. But that's what the peacekeepers told us happened.
I'll take another look around. For now, I'd like to ask you to leave the room.
So you're gonna do that thing, yeah? I'm counting on you. Let's wait outside.
The
Time
trump
for
card is
her.
still face down.
Yeah, to use it now.
Time to use my post-cognition to see how things were at the time the body was first discovered.
Probably will have a general idea what the crime scene really is before it actually happened. Alright. The door is open. Post-cognition, traces of a sticky substance are on the frame. Was it some kind of tape stuck on? There's a lamp here?
I see.
All tanks seem to smash in, where there's not much difference between the room and its present state. So they were all like this during post-cognition, okay. Fish keeping equipment.
I see.
I was about many things are scattered around. This sort of must be caused by a broken fish tank. Equipment is scattered around post-cognition. The floor is very dirty. Everywhere.
There are dead tropical fish.
No!
everywhere.
All the fish
whole
are
floor is
dead.
Completely drenched.
Window. It's open. Is it? No?
It's not locked. Anyone could come and go through here. Perhaps this is how the culprit entered the place.
So they accessed through the sliding window, perhaps. And the fish went over there.
There's a dead tropical fish in the drain on the veranda. Why would that be there?
Clue. I'm pretty skeptical that it must be one of those two. Wall stain. Ink stains on the walls are present when the body was found. I'm not seeing any particular differences. No, the stains are darker when they currently... Does that mean they were made around this time? The corpse is right here.
The victim's body is kneeling against the edge of a fish tank, with his head inside. Like the other tanks, this one is smashed up too. Looking closely, he is soaking wet. It'd make sense if it was just his upper body, but for his whole body to be soaked is unusual.
Was he just drowned inside the fish tank? And then, like, laid like here?
I'm beginning to see the truth behind this case. That's all the investigating I need to do for now.
I guess we're gonna have to put it all together, are we? Alright.
Are you done?
Dude! Wait,
The
what?
dog has something in her mouth.
Hey, Sugar!
What's this?
That's Sugar's favorite toy. It's just a rubber hose tied up in a knot. Ever since she was a puppy, Sugar has loved playing tug-of-war with a rubber hose.
Is this a clue? Could be.
So I still make toys out of hoses like this. But I don't think I made one for her recently. Where did she get it from?
Wow, that's interesting. Let me take a look.
Wait, don't touch it.
Wait, what?
What's
Wait, what?
wrong?
What is it?
Put that in a
Poison.
plastic bag without touching it directly.
Poison.
I believe it's evidence.
That's evidence?
Consider it a precaution.
She goes straight to her short rubber hose tied to a knot.
How's the investigation going? Are the peacekeepers right? Did my father pass away due to an accident? Or was it...
The answer is clear. This was no accident, but a murder.
Huh? Really?
What makes you think it's a murder?
My thinking.
The floors. The window, no? Was open.
No, it's not enough to disprove the theory that it was.
Okay. No, the walls. No?
No, it's not.
Okay. Okay. The fish tanks were shattered.
The victim died with his head in the fish tank. Is that right?
Yes, that is certain.
This was just an educated
As
guess.
you can see, this fish tank was
I thought the other
destroyed
two
like all
clues
the
were
others.
related. Okay.
That is far too strange. It means something logically impossible occurred.
Impossible? What do you mean?
I shouldn't have to explain it. If the victim drowned with his head in the tank, then it had to be filled with water.
Yeah? That's...
But as you can see, the fish tank is destroyed, meaning it is unable to contain water.
So, oh.
Like with the other tanks, the water spilled out when it was smashed, emptying it. So how could the victim drown in a fish tank that held no water?
Oh, now that you mention it.
The peacekeepers claim the victim was disoriented and smashed the fish tanks himself.
That is a clue that I
But if
never
the victim was
thought.
still alive when he
Okay.
smashed the fish tanks, it would have been impossible for him to have drowned. In other words,
So,
the victim was
drowned?
then placed next to the fish
Okay.
tank to make it seem like an accident.
And that's when they smashed them. Yeah.
The culprit must have believed this camouflage would be enough to fool the peacekeepers.
So my father was murdered.
By who, no less?
Yes, there is no mistake about it. This is murder.
Dun dun dun.
Hold on. If the culprit wanted to make the victim look like he drowned, why did they destroy the fish tank? Didn't they realize their cover would be blown? And plus, all the fish tanks were destroyed, not just that one.
Exactly.
It must have been part of their plan for the peacekeepers to overlook this contradiction.
It's like, I'll underestimate the
However,
peacekeepers.
destroying
They're
the
stupid.
tanks required a lot of effort. If the culprit did so despite the contradiction it created, then we have to assume there was an unavoidable reason behind it.
An unavoidable reason.
Could they have... I don't think they had a time limit, no?
Who is the culprit?
I must investigate further to find that out. I'll report back once I find the answer.
Yes, please.
Has anyone outside your family entered or left the house recently?
I don't think so.
Were there any tradesmen who came to work
The
on
maid.
place?
The maid.
I can't think of any.
No, no maid.
Allow me to change the question. Have you recently done any remodeling or repairs to the home?
Oh, now that you mention it, the rain gutters on the roof were broken, so Jaren fixed them.
Jaren. Dun dun.
He fixed the rain gutters?
Yes.
Well, why?
He's an avid DIYer. He not only fixed the broken parts, but also checked the gutters around the whole building, which was a lot of work.
Sasuke. Jaren fixed the rain gutters on the roof.
I see. That concludes my investigation.
We should
What?
check
Are
outside.
you sure that's enough?
Could be. We could be checking outside.
Jeez, you're always off in your own world. I'm sorry about that. Our ace detective isn't very friendly. That being said, I believe this case will be solved soon. Please be patient for just a bit longer.
Thank you.
Alright. Gotta figure out more to this investigation.
Halara, just as you suspected, it could be the fiancé.
Yeah.
Jaren has been living in the client's home and mooching off her since he got fired from his job a year back.
Sasuke.
He's in quite a lot of debt, too. At one point, he was spending almost all his time in casinos. He kept asking the client's father for money, but was always denied. Seems the father was also against their marriage.
So money
The
is
the motive is, yeah,
If
pretty
the father
significant.
were to die, the daughter would inherit everything. So if he married her, the money would be his.
Makes sense. The thing is, that man has an alibi. The victim's estimated time of death is 10 at night. There's no mistake that Jaren was with the client at that time. It makes no sense to suspect Tetra, since she's our client, so we have to assume his alibi is airtight.
Right. I agree.
His alibi is perfect. Not only was he with Tetra at 10, but he was also with her for 2 hours before and after.
Could he have planned something? A contraption that made it so that it happened?
So, as it stands, it's impossible for him to have killed the victim.
No, the alibi isn't a problem. It's possible if a certain trick was used.
A trick?
Something that allows the whole process
But
to
I
happen.
still lack hard evidence.
We just need more evidence.
Perhaps it's worth rolling the dice here.
Hey, are you sure about this?
We'll make our move tonight. Let's go to the client.
Alright, I guess we got ourselves a plan to figure out. Kinda nervous, honestly, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm curious how this case is gonna end.
Is it true that you know the truth behind this case?
That's right, miss. Allow me to explain. The key detail for this case is the victim's cause of death. Without a doubt, the victim died by drowning. But making it look like he drowned in the fish tank was camouflage. Why would such a thing even be needed? Because it secured the killer's alibi.
You said that the victim's time of death was around 10 p.m. In other words, the culprit secured their alibi at the same time as they murdered the victim. Is that really possible?
Through a certain trick, it was possible to drown the victim even if the culprit wasn't there.
Drown him without being there?
The trick the culprit used was...
The hose? There was a hose? Flooded the room.
a method that can't disprove the alibi. Think.
Sealed the room.
A method that can't...
So it's not that. The body shook the room.
A method that can't...
The vent dried the room.
A method that can't disprove the alibi. Think carefully.
Huh, I need to really think about this right now. Okay, I tried everything. I have yet to use the hose. There's no way, right? The hose flooded the room?
First,
Wait, what?
it involves
Really?
this rubber
Okay.
hose.
Really? I was trying the fish tanks, the body? I'm surprised it's... Oh, that's the chew toy.
That's Sugar's toy.
Oh, I did not realize, like, that was a hose.
If you untie the knot, it returns to being a hose. This was what was first used in the crime.
How was it used? Don't tell me that's the murder weapon.
If you check the vent, you'll see the color of paint scraped on there matches the hose. It was likely passed through the vent.
Someone put the hose in the vent. Why would anyone do that?
Oh,
It's nothing special.
on top of the roof.
The hose was simply used for its original purpose.
Its original purpose?
One end of the hose was placed on the edge of the rain gutter on the veranda side.
Ah.
Prior to this,
Purposely.
the culprit adjusted the rain gutter so that the hose could be inserted into it. The rainwater from the gutter passed through the hose, filling the room.
Huh? What do you mean? Halara, you think this place got
Oh, that
flooded
explains
with
the
rainwater?
window. I see.
That would drench the whole place.
Yeah.
When the body was found, the room was, in fact, drenched.
But that was because of the broken fish tanks, right?
That's part of it. But the main reason was due to rainwater pouring into the enclosed room.
So they lock both sides of the
Wait, what do you mean?
doors? The door and the
What's
window?
the point in flooding this room with rainwater?
The culprit's goal was to secure their own alibi at the estimated time of death. This trick was necessary for that.
I don't get it. Can you explain from the beginning?
Let's go over what the culprit did on the day of the crime, in order.
Alright. A denouement?
First, the culprit mixed sleeping pills into the victim's dinner. While the victim was asleep, the culprit proceeded to prepare the trick.
Okay.
Sleeping pills in his food?
Drugged.
That reminds me. My father did seem sleepy shortly after eating dinner.
He's not saying anything, is he?
After dinner, the victim likely went to his room to lay down. The culprit then sneaked into his room and carried him out while he was asleep. That was how the victim was transported to this room.
At this point, you're sure he was still alive?
He was knocked
course.
out.
If the culprit murdered the victim earlier, then their alibi wouldn't have worked. The culprit had to murder him in such a way that would secure their alibi.
Ah. He knocked him out,
preparations
placed it,
were
and then
done
the
in this
drowning
room.
started.
After bringing the victim here, the culprit used duct tape on the gap near the door to weather strip it.
Weather strip? What's that?
Letter strip.
It prevents water from leaking outside.
What do you mean?
Let me explain. After weather stripping the door, the culprit started destroying the fish tanks.
To make it seem like it
The
flooded.
culprit likely covered them with cloth to dampen the noise. Once he smashed all of them, he leaned the victim onto the fish tank. The culprit then moved to the window on the veranda and weather stripped the outside of it. Finally, they took the hose connected to the rain gutter and passed it through the vent to the inside of the room. Preparations in place, the culprit left through the veranda and returned to the mansion as if nothing had happened.
All they had to do is rely on the rain.
How does that complete everything? The victim was still alive at the time, right? When was he murdered?
The victim naturally drowned after being left alone for several hours.
Huh? How's that?
The rain, Yako.
The rainwater
'Cause
from
the
the rubber
hose.
hose flooded the room in a few hours. The whole room was turned into a fish tank, this time filled with rainwater. And that is how the victim drowned.
The whole room was flooded?
That can't be.
That explains the markings on the wall.
The proof lies in the stained walls. The day of the murder, the room must have been filled to that line with rainwater.
Rainwater killed the victim?
Correct. Only in this city could such an approach be possible.
Get it? Because it's rain code?
The rain never stops in Kanai.
Exactly.
This makes it easy to estimate the amount of rainfall to a certain degree. So it is not impossible to create this alibi trick with some calculation.
I think that's a bit of a stretch.
But it's... The
Wouldn't it
method
take
is
at least
likely.
half a day for the room to fill with enough rainwater to drown the victim?
I'm sure it would require more rainwater than usual to accomplish it.
But they need that much
Which
time.
means you'd need to gather all the rain falling around this giant mansion.
Gather all of it? How?
No, Yako's so
It would
slow.
require slight adjustments to the rain gutters.
He's the one who made...
After that,
Yeah.
the rainwater would flow to the veranda.
He was the one on top of the roof for his alibi.
Adjustments to the rain gutters?
That means him, yes.
There would be plenty of water if all of the rain that pours upon the mansion is rerouted to this room. That explains how the culprit secured their alibi while drowning the victim. In the morning, before the body was found, they removed the weather stripping and drained the water through the veranda. If you check the drain in the veranda, you should find dead tropical fish that were carried out with the rainwater. The culprit smashed the tanks beforehand to prevent rainwater from being stored inside. Well, that's how I would have done it. But maybe the culprit didn't realize that before they started draining the water.
The culprit is literally silent the entire time. I know he's the culprit, but like, Jesus, he's literally being silent.
Seeing the fish tanks filled with rainwater, the culprit panicked and smashed all of the glass to hide the evidence. They must have carelessly broken the one fish tank the corpse was leaning on in the process. Isn't that how it went, Jaren?
Yepers.
I'll be direct. You are the culprit.
I think the moment we saw him for the first time
Is this some kind of joke?
is the automatic moment that he was exactly the culprit.
Why would I kill my father-in-law? That's stupid.
You have a motive for it, so yeah.
But you were fixing the rain gutters a few days before the incident.
He prepped us ahead of time.
That's because you asked me to fix them. How does fixing some stuff pin me as the culprit? That's crazy talk.
So you intend on maintaining that you're not the culprit?
Of course.
Then we'll have to ask our little friend for the answer. Come here, sugar.
Oh wait, the dog's gonna accuse him?
This is the rubber hose used for the trick. There are scrapes on its surface. That's the proof. I'm sure the culprit tried to dispose of it, tying it into a knot before throwing it away. But our friend here found it for us. Good girl, sugar. Only the culprit has directly touched the rubber hose. I'm certain his scent is still on it. Tell us, sugar.
Oh, the dog.
What do you smell on this?
The dog accuses the culprit. Oh, you're the culprit!
So, it is you.
This is complete nonsense. I won't accept it.
He's gonna fight.
If I have to, I'll kill all of you.
Okay, Halara, just beat his ass.
Hey,
Beat his
don't
ass.
tell me that you're. I was so close.
Oh, what the
to
fuck? He has a
getting all
knife!
that
Knife! Oh, what the hell?
Calm down.
Yako.
Why me?
God dang it!
I can kill the woman anytime. I'll start off with you. Damn you, detectives. This is your fault for sticking your nose into my life.
Can you
Lar?
handle this on your own, Chief?
I'm pretty bad at this sort of thing. Please help. Shut up!
Ah!
I'll kill.
Ooh, the coin. The Halara's so fast! That's why she's physically gifted for a reason.
I never thought it would be like this. What am I supposed to do?
Feels bad for her, Pepe Hen.
You're not alone. That's what she's saying.
Yay, the Doge!
If you ever need
Yay!
help, come to us.
Case closed, everybody.
Nocturnal Detective Agency will always be at your service.
Thank you.
I think the culprit was just too obvious. I was just very curious about how the method happened.
As promised, you can keep that cat here.
Yay! The cat.
I don't need your help. That's what the cat is saying.
Come on, this cat thinks it's some sort of hard-boiled detective? Well, I suppose I don't mind.
This city is a difficult place to live, even for the animals.
Right. I hope we can keep solving the mysteries here to make this city a better place. And make it a nicer place for them to live too.
I sincerely hope so.
You're so cold to humans that you like
Are you teasing me?
See, there you go again, making that scary face.
She loves her cats.
Seeing you play with the cat, you look kinda cute. It sure would be nice to see more of that smile around here. I hope you keep using your powers to change this city. I know you can do it. For their sake, too.
That depends on the payment.
Come on. Well, how's this? Consider it the reward for this case. And maybe you could ask for permission next time.
Fuck's sakes.
Thanks.
Alright, I guess that was a good conclusion towards this DLC. I have a feeling the next DLC is gonna be Vivia. Very likely it's gonna be Vivia, but yeah, anyway. Cass, Halara, Yako, blah blah blah. Tetra, Genlosi, Jaren, Sean Chiplock. Woo! Shout out to Jen, by the way. She rarely gets roles, but thank God it's a good role for her. Alright, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this sub-story of Halara DLC. So yeah, next time, we're gonna do probably Vivia's once it comes next month. But yeah, anyway, I'll see you guys all next time.